I'm Marcyliena Morgan, professor in African and African American Studies and the founding director of the Hip Hop Archive.
And my name is Brandon Terry. I'm assistant professor of African and African American Studies and of Social Studies. The present age has left unvarnished and unadorned the profound threat that a culture of cynicism and conformity poses to the grand ideals to which W.E.B. Du Bois devoted his life: truth and beauty, democracy and equality, dignity and self-respect. In these dark times which seek to supplant the intellectual with the thought leader, the artist with the influencer, and the organizer with the strategist, we return to Du Bois to cast light. As we seek the cultural and spiritual resources of our time to sustain us for the long siege ahead, Du Bois's example reminds us to honor and emulate those who, in the name of right, declare principle prior to profit and prior to popularity and act accordingly. As Dr. Du Bois writes in 1920's Darkwater, the doctrine of the divine right of majorities leads to almost humorous insistence on a dead level of mediocrity. It demands that all people be alike or that they be ostracized. At the same time, its greatest accusation against rebels is this same desire to be alike. The suffragette is accused of wanting to be a man. The socialist is accused of envy of the rich, and the black man is accused of wanting to be white. That any one of these should simply want to be himself is to the average worshiper of the majority inconceivable. And yet of all worlds, may the good Lord deliver us from a world where everybody looks like his neighbor and thinks like his neighbor and is like his neighbor.
Hip-hop owes a great deal to Du Bois. The rebellious spirit that Du Bois proudly and defiantly conveyed, the willingness to speak one's mind regardless of the consequences, is still alive and well in hip-hop music and hip-hop culture. That is not to say that keeping it real never goes wrong. We study you here, okay? It is only to insist that this demand to express yourself, to speak the truth, no matter the consequence, has long been one of the deepest commitments of hip-hop culture. This is especially true when it comes to unmasking the criticizing racism in America. From Grandmaster Flash's The Message to Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly, hip-hop at its best has lived up to Du Bois' ambition and souls to step within the veil, raising it that you may view faintly its deeper recesses. At the Hip Hop Archive and Research Institute, we work to continue Du Bois' commitments to art scholarship and social justice. A few years ago, the previous NAS fellow, Professor Chris Emden from Teachers College, brought a group of students from his hip-hop ed class in Harlem to visit Harvard and the Hip Hop Archive. They had recently learned about Du Bois in the veil of double consciousness while reading Souls of Black Folk. One student, Jabari Johnson, wrote a hip-hop song and performed what he called the New Veil. Now an artist releasing his first single rather, he considers Du Bois to be his boy. And repeatedly claims, and this is just an excerpt, yeah, I see myself through my own eyes. The rules don't apply, better improvise. See myself through my own eyes, bump the other guys, the rules don't apply, better improvise. I see myself, my own eyes, bump the other guys. Shout outs to my boy, Du Bois. Shout out to my boy, Du Bois, yeah. He made an issue known round the world. There's some mentalities we gotta destroy. Shout outs to my Du Bois. Shout outs to my Du Bois. He made an issue known around the world. There's some mentalities we gotta destroy. Shout out to my Du Bois. Thank you.